Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. It is Thursday afternoon, and I think the world of this man. Jon Sumrall continuing to make moves at Florida. I mean, a really quick and efficient defensive coordinator hire. He comes in and locks in the 2026 class, and then he goes out and poaches. Let's just be real about this. One of the most respected offensive coordinators in this sport as we speak, Buster Faulkner, leaving Georgia Tech, coming to Florida. I mean, this was a guy that we were banging the table for Billy Napier to go out and get 12 months ago. And Jon Sumrall makes this happen. We knew this hire would be really damn important to Jon Sumrall's success. To the Florida fans who've been rocking with the boys the last couple of days, as we've talked about this search, this was my number one guy. Comes down to a couple of things. We're going to dive into what Buster Faulkner brings, but if I were to sell the Florida fans in 30 seconds here, really good developing quarterback, specifically with Haynes King at Georgia Tech, and he knows how to run the football. I mean, when you can run the football and you have good quarterback play, that's what you need to win in this conference, right? And so I want to get into what he's done at Georgia Tech, the stuff that he's done with Haynes King, what to expect at Florida. I have a little bit of a fun conversation in terms of, hey, if Florida's going to go to the portal and grab a quarterback to lead this offense in 2026, there's a name that would fit Buster Faulkner's offense in a big time way. Before we get into it, as always, the Florida fans, man, the amount of support this fan base has shown to the boys over the last 72 hours. We're talking recruiting. We're talking coordinator hires. It's amazing. I can't thank you guys enough. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. We got plenty more to talk about over the next couple of days, weeks, and months, right? Without further ado, let's get into Buster Faulkner, and let's start with the quarterback development. Something that Florida just could not get right with Billy Napier and DJ Lagway. What Buster Faulkner has done with Haynes King has been nothing short of incredible. Haynes King in 2022, his last year at Texas A&M, 55% completion percentage, 7 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, only averaging 6.5 yards per pass. Like a lot, Haynes King was a very sought-after quarterback out of high school. He goes to Texas A&M. A lot of people thought this cat was a bust after what he was with Jimbo Fisher. He comes to Georgia Tech, and in year one in 2023, had some interception issues, but was, a little bit more productive. The last 2 years with Buster Faulkner, I mean, borderline. I mean, there's been times where we've talked about Haynes King as a Heisman contender. Now, he's not going to be a super high NFL draft pick, but in terms of building the offense and leaning into your quarterback skill set, it was elite by Buster Faulkner. That might be, before we get into the development of Haynes King, what I love most about Coach Faulkner. He doesn't have this offensive scheme that he's married to. He has some concepts that he likes. There's no doubt about that. But he doesn't have this offensive scheme that he's married to. What he's going to do is he's going to come in. He's going to look at this Florida roster. He's going to look at the quarterback play and say, hey, what do my players do best? Let me build my offense around my players. I feel strongly about this. The best offensive play callers in the game, they build their offenses and play calling around their player skill sets. I'm not sure if that was something Billy Napier did. It sure as hell is going to be something Buster Faulkner does. Haynes King, the last 2 years at Georgia Tech, 72% completion percentage, nearly 20 points higher than what it was at Texas A&M. 26 touchdowns to 7 interceptions, 8.2 yards per attempt, 2 yards more than he was at Texas A&M. 1,500 rushing yards, 26 total rushing touchdowns. Talk about leaning into Haynes King's skill set. That's what Georgia Tech did. Now, whoever's going to be quarterback for Florida in 2026, whether it's DJ Lagway, whether it's going to be somebody else, do we expect Buster Faulkner to run the quarterback as much as he ran Haynes King? I personally don't think so. I think the reason Haynes King got ran so much is because he was not the greatest passer of all time. And we're going to lean into his skill set, which is running the football, have success that way. But you're probably going to see lean into the run game a little bit with whoever's playing quarterback for Florida in 2026. Second thing I love about him, knows how to run the football, and he's going to run it in a lot of different ways, man. And I want to be very clear here. He's not one-dimensional as an offensive play caller. Now, he runs the football more than he throws the football, but you look at Georgia Tech throwing the football 8.3 yards per pass attempt in 2025. That was top 25 in the country. It's not that Georgia Tech can't run the football. It's just that it's not that Georgia Tech can't throw the football. They just really leaned into the run game. Really good run game, really fun run game too. I mean, this was an offense at Georgia Tech, 6.6 yards per play, top 15 in the country, 5.4 yards per carry. That's 13th best in the country. When you look at Buster Faulkner running the football, he's going to throw the kitchen sink at you. You're going to see outside zone. You're going to see inside zone. You're going to see power. You're going to see quarterback run. You're going to see jet sweeps. You're going to see some speed options. You're going to see it all from Buster Faulkner. If you want to be a run heavy offense, you have to be able to run the football in a lot of different ways. Buster Faulkner does that. Other things I love about him, this offense doesn't go backwards. Only took a sack on 2.9% of dropbacks. That was top 8 in the country. In turn, a lead on third downs, 48% on third downs, top 15 in the country, top 10 in the country in red zone conversion. I mean, this all the makings of stuff you like about an offense, Buster Faulkner is bringing from Georgia Tech. And I think he's going to do it with more talented players. I mean, you retain Jaden Baugh and the joy, and this will go a long way, I think. Jaden Baugh is going to want to play for Buster Faulkner, at least the way I look at it. A couple other things that are worth noting. Loves play action. 40% of dropbacks come off of play action. Hey, we want to run the football. We want to force defenses to respect what we're doing running the football. Put another safety in the box. Then we're going to throw the football over your heads. Like, it ain't that complicated with Buster Faulkner. Roots in Georgia, that matters, right? I mean, obviously coached at Georgia Tech, but grew up in the state. When Florida is recruiting at their best, not only are they taking care of in-state kids, they're going up to Georgia and landing some really good football players in that state as well. Buster Faulkner will be an asset, right? Last thing, feed the studs. That if there was one way I would describe Buster Faulkner, it's, hey, identify what my players do well and put that into the playbook, and identify who my best players are. Give them all the opportunities. You especially saw that back in 2024 when they had Malik Rutherford and Eric Singleton before Eric Singleton got poached by Auburn. I mean, it was just, hey, how many different ways can we get Eric Singleton the football and let him go make plays? It ain't rocket science. Like when you get your best players the chance to make plays and they make plays, chances are you're going to have a lot of success. And I'm looking at Florida and say, all right, Vernell Brown comes back. Dallas Wilson comes back. Jaden Baugh comes back. You are going to see a healthy dose of those studs with the football in their hands and opportunities to make plays. All right, now just for a fun conversation, right? Because I was pretty vocal that Buster Faulkner now and Jon Sumrall and whatever the offensive guy, I would hope, I'll say this too, wouldn't mind to see Buster Faulkner maybe take a guy or two from that Georgia Tech staff. I think they've done a really good job on the offensive line. We'll see. That's a separate conversation. The biggest decision now that Buster Faulkner and Jon Sumrall have is what are we going to do at quarterback? Do we want to build this offense around DJ Lagway? That's a legitimate question, right? If you don't, if you want to let DJ Lagway walk, we've already seen the buzz here. Sam Levitt. I mean, you could go out and spend on a guy like Lenore Sellers, who I think would be dynamite in the Buster Faulkner offense. But I look at Sam Levitt, man. The thing with DJ Lagway is, yes, is DJ Lagway a solid runner of the football? Yeah. Does he like to do it? The answer is probably not. I look at Sam Levitt and say, really good thrower of the football, but a very good runner of the football. He likes to do it as well. I mean, this dude, he's a competitor, right? Sam Levitt in this Buster Faulkner offense could be really fun to watch. We'll see if Florida decides to pursue that. I am now fascinated about what they do at the quarterback position. We'll pause it there. Appreciate you guys rocking with it again. To the Florida fans, we have a lot to talk about over the next couple of weeks and months. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. We'll talk to y'all later.